Can I tell you that I'm wanting you? I'm in love with the way you move, and I think you should have a drink or two. Truth is, I wanna lie with you, so come my way. Feel like you need somebody, so baby girl, come my way. Feel like you need somebody. Dip low, watching a dip low. Dances on me and I just sip slow. Watching you head down to your tiptoe.
The next question is, can black people be racist?
100%.
No, we need to define racism. What we need to do.
Can black people be racist?
Okay,
in the sense as in, do we have the power to be racist?
All right.
No, that's not the question. That's not the question. Can black people be racist? Yes, we can.
No,
Racist to you, though.
Before we get to the definition, you said power, but that's only one form of racism. Why are we limiting it to that?
Why? Because
Right? Can black people be racist?
Okay. Then let the conversation talk about power.
If we're going to
Talk about power, then we can, within this discussion, we can take that angle. But racism is a form of discrimination. Now, in your citizenship class, you were taught discrimination is prejudice plus power. Now, black people, listen, yeah. Now, listen.
That's systematic.
Of course, everybody in the world can be prejudiced. I can say, white people this, Asian people this. I could even say black people this. But I cannot be in a position, i.e. government, where I can make policy to affect those groups of people. Yes it is. Because
Wait.
my point that I'm making is, we need to define, we need to talk about it as racial prejudice and racism, because the two are not one and the same. One requires power to be acted upon. You cannot say that a black person is racist because they have a certain view or they stereotype a group of people.
That's just prejudice.
However, if we lived in an African country, for example, where black people had the power, and we made policy.
Therefore, we are racist.
Yeah, but are we talking about here? We're talking
about racism. So let me land. Hold on. Yes, cool, they can, and here's why. That's why you can. Let me land. Cool. They can be racist, and here's why. You've just said black people to be racist, we require power. Cool. Let's remove ourselves from Europe and the UK. Let's get to Africa. Okay. The power is ours. Okay. And the Caribbean, the power is ours. Wait. Where we have Asians, Chinese people, living in our countries. And I feel like as black leaders, therefore we can be racist. Hold on, here's an example. Idi Amin in Uganda kicked out all the Asians. Is that racist?
Can I just say?
Therefore, we can be racist in our own country. But we can't be racist here.
Go on. You mentioned the Caribbean. Now, I'm sorry, but although we might have black politicians there, all the companies,
Chinese,
all the hotels,
Chinese,
all the private beaches,
Chinese.
All the roads, we have toll roads in Jamaica which are owned by Chinese people.
We're being colonized by China.
Like, it's...
But it's true.
Although we may have a political figurehead, we as a people still don't run our own country. Like, anything that is being sourced into us, anything we're being bought, anything that's being sold is not our own product. We don't have our own trade. And I feel like that's how it is in most countries that suffered through slavery. Especially...
And colonialism.
True. Now, that may not be the same for all African countries and all Caribbean countries. We are still we are only controlling our countries by proxy.
Yes.
Because...
Sorry. I got the definition of racism. It says prejudice, discrimination or antagonism directed against someone of a different race based on the belief.
Hey,
that one's own race is superior.
And black people don't have that.
Have you ever not said, don't do that because the white person, that's so white of you? That's believing you're superior.
I say I won't do because a white person does it. It's because I believe I'm inferior to them, and if I do it, it's something I can't qualify myself to do.
Ridiculed for it.
No, it's true. I'm telling you.
No, because
Are you telling me? Right, okay, let's go to mixed race people. Someone that's half Asian and half white, minority, not in a position of power, because technically mixed race people are in a position of power. If they came in here and called you an N-word right now, that's not racist because they're not in a position of power. That's what you're saying.
Someone coming up and calling me a nigger is not racism. That's racial prejudice. That's a racial slur.
Which is racism?
Racial prejudice. Racial prejudice. Definitions change over time. It's prejudice.
Back to the example I gave where you're saying, oh, I can't do that because like white people do that. You might be saying you're feeling inferior, but you're actually thinking, if you say to another black person, you're saying, we can't do that because we're too good for that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with saying? It's not about being inferior because you're saying, oh, I can't dance that way because that's how white people dance. Right. That you're saying, you're clearly saying there's something wrong with the way they dance. So that
Right. So if I turn around to Daryl, you. So you're Filipino, but what are you doing in ACS? Is that not racist?
No, it's not. No.
Can you repeat it?
No, that's xenophobic.
It's not my race. If I turned around to Daryl and said, what's he doing in ACS? He's not African or Caribbean. Is that not racist?
That's ignorance. That's not racist. That's ignorance. So if we're taking that definition of power, blah 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 blah, in the US, Asians hold a lot of power, especially, and Jews, they have a lot of monetary power. So what are you saying? So they can be
Jews are white. What do you mean?
They can be racist.
They can be racist as well. Can I just drop another quote here? To go half as far as they have gone, we have to be twice as good.
But why have to work twice as hard? Listen, yes, work hard, but they never raised me to believe that I was half as good as a white person.
Exactly. It's not their fault that they want to hire their own kind. Why don't we create our own businesses to hire our own?
Because we're limited from those opportunities.
But no, we're not. We are not.
We are to some degree.
But you know what? I won't lie to
Tulsa, Oklahoma, burn down. It's fam. We're not allowed to get to those positions. If we're in the West. Exactly. If we're here in the UK, we're talking about the UK.
Because the question wasn't, can black people be racist in the UK?
Yeah,
it's racist full stop.
No, but listen.
You said the question was directed to black people living in the UK. I want you to know not everyone in the room is British.
Right, of course.
So the question was directed to everyone. So they're generalizing it. You can't really I'm not British.
Yeah, that's
and I know a lot of people are not British too.
There's so many black people that are building their own businesses. They have limitations, but everyone has limitations when it comes to business. So I don't understand the issue of saying, oh, we don't have these opportunities. Create the opportunities yourself. And if you don't, then that's your bad.
It isn't so
We can't be blaming the other races around.
What you said is true.
Yeah.
They're startup companies. What I'm talking about is these are building blocks that have been in place for centuries. Like, it's not just something that have started maybe in the last couple of years. Like, these people have foundations that they've been working on for time. Anything we may have been building or have built in the past was taken down. So anything we have now has been brought back up. That's what I'm trying to say. So right now, we're climbing ourselves back up the ladder. We're still not there. So as far as I'm concerned, I can't see myself as an equal just yet. And because I know I'm not perceived as an equal to anyone.
Yeah, so you're an equal, otherwise you won't be able to.
Yeah, it's not about what we think, it's about how people perceive us.
Yeah, why do you care?
Because if they're the people in the power that we need to go to, black people don't own no banks here, so we're not going to be like, let's go to a black bank and then we're going to get a loan. We have to go to a white people, and a white person is more likely to give a loan to a white person than they are to a black person with the same standing. Because they're racist, they're obviously it's racist.
Not everyone.
Not everyone. What Timmy was saying, like, you have to build yourself out, like, you're equal to like these white people. The thing is, you're living in their country. Like, they've had family here for centuries. So they have those building blocks. We came here like maybe a century ago. We don't have that structure.
Have you ever felt ashamed to be black in today's society?
Hell no.
Okay, I'll start. Me personally, no, because I've been brought up in a multicultural community. Even though there were quite a lot of white people, but I've never felt that I needed to lie about where I'm from. So that's me personally.
I wouldn't say ashamed, but I would say you feel different when you live like in a community with a lot of like white people. Because I lived like quite up north, and I was like in my school I was the only black person. So you do feel quite different. You don't feel ashamed, but then you just feel like you can't quite relate to what other people are talking about. So yeah, you do feel different in a certain way, but not ashamed.
I agree with Crystal. The area I lived in Germany was like very white. So at my school, in my whole area, I was actually the only black girl my age. So you do end up feeling different, and like you have to not act a certain way, but you have to behave. You can't do anything wrong because people will judge you even more.
Being watched. Yeah, because they'll be like, oh yeah, that's what black people do when you're not really representing everybody else in your race.
I would even say the word ashamed is the right word, but it's the fact that to be black has been changed so much, as in like the perspective of being black has been changed so much in terms of, let's say, I don't know, 5-10 years ago, even 15 years ago, when someone was like, oh, you're black, that came with actually power, authority, that came with actually a history and a background that was so strong and rich that people can take from us, nothing like that. But these days, when you're hearing someone say, oh, you're just black, it comes with poverty, it comes with third world, it comes with fights, it comes with gang culture, it comes with black on black crimes. And then you hearing that, you're thinking, I don't want to be associated with that kind of stereotype of black people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you don't want to be black, but I'm just saying you're not trying to now put yourself in a place where it's like, oh, this is all that they see from me as a black person, or this is all they see from me as an ethnic person. Because at the end of the day, the minute they're judging you just by your skin color, not even by your name, you know there's already something wrong there. So that's why I feel like it's not maybe a sense of shame, but a sense of, if people don't change their views on the word, let's say black, or change their words on Asian or white or anything, then you're never going to be fully acceptable of who you are, because you can't even, like, for example, the things that happened in London with the whole Tower Bridge, I don't know if it was Tower Bridge, but the whole, the whole bomb, it wasn't bombing,
Tottenham.
but yeah, no, not Tottenham.
The shooting.
Yeah, the shooting. And it was like a lot of Muslims could not even leave their house. They weren't even involved. Let's say they were far away from the scene, but they couldn't even leave their house because they'll be seen as, oh, you were the guys that were doing all this. But it's like, just because I'm a Muslim doesn't mean I'm a part of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So just because I'm black doesn't mean I'm the people that are doing gang culture. Just because I'm black doesn't mean I'm the people that are now rapping, oh, every man must die and ripping ends. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, that's another issue. Like, a lot of us, I'm saying us in general, we tend to even if we were brought up in the suburbs, somehow we're always associating ourselves with the struggle. I don't understand that. Like, if you were brought up with money, it doesn't matter. Like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. You can claim that, but you don't
make you feel like you're not part of it. So, like, for example, I didn't grow up, as I said, with black people or any other ethnic minority actually. So people always were like, you don't understand. You're not part of it. You went to this school. You're not part of it. You have this. You're not part of us. Sorry. Yes, I am. Like
we don't have to have the same experience to be black, which is my issue.
Is there any pressure on women to wear makeup?
Yes.
Man, don't say
Man,
them don't say nothing.
Man, them shut up.
Man, them don't say nothing. Please don't.
Yeah, please do.
I want to say no.
Is there any pressure on women to wear makeup?
Yes.
I want to say no.
Women put the pressure on themselves.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not just that.
Yes, I can.
I feel like guys, if you ask any female, why do you wear makeup? They'll say it's for themselves. There's nothing to do with man.
Yeah, they do. They get likes from Gavin.
That's not always true.
They do
Because
have Gavin
sometimes you do wear makeup for like a guy to notice you or stuff like that.
But you're not asking.
Exactly. I feel like you don't believe in
But
it.
then when you go out, guys, okay, let's
When was the last time a man told you, yo, if you're gonna come out with me, put some makeup on your face?
If I show up to a date, no makeup on.
I feel like the pressure is not a guy saying you should wear makeup, but it's the woman believing that.
Oh, that's on them, that's not on us.
No. Guys think that, like,
One person at a time.
Can I speak from personal experience? I would say that for me to, as a man, I don't know about the rest of these guys. I'm a romantic, so I don't know about the rest of these. So, what I would say, like, if I'm attracted to a girl, I would say the first thing in my mind, if I can wake up next to this girl and smile. Without makeup. Yeah.
That's a problem.
Man didn't want to wake up with like, you know, the face that they saw you yesterday on the pillow. Did you?
If I can wake up next to you and smile, I'm happy. But if I have to wake up next to you and go,
made it, fam.
We're talking about makeup. You're thinking about like what?
That's with makeup though. I'm talking about the fact that a man.
Girls don't go to sleep with makeup on.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about if you're in public and I see you, right? I'm talking about. Alright, I don't know many women, but if I'm gonna wake up next to you, like if I'm thinking about relationship, I'm talking about if I'm waking up next to you and I smile. I'm happy.
No, but we're talking about makeup specifically. Like, argument your is like, does appearance really have an effect on like whether you like a girl or not? But we're talking specifically about makeup. We're not talking about attractiveness. We're talking about like, do you think makeup?
No. All he's saying is that he's never placed an expectation on his woman for her to wear makeup,
right?
Or to have to wear makeup for him to be happy. Okay. He's happy without her wearing it. He wants to wake up in the morning, see the girl, like just all in her natural, just natural.
You know what? But it's the thing, yeah. A lot of guys.
Ask the question. Okay, when you go clubbing, let's say, how many of you have ever moved to a girl that has no makeup on?
Little makeup.
Can you even?
Come Okay, if a girl wants to go out but she doesn't want to look caked, a girl will have the no makeup look. She do
and that's where we get confused.
Wait, in a club setting, then you're not gonna know if my girl is fully no makeup or she's having touch makeup. You can't make that set. They're just like, no.
I said that I don't see really any girl that doesn't wear makeup in the club.
I've seen girls.
I feel like
You said have you moved to a girl without makeup? Yes, it was in a club setting.
Yeah. You're saying man them confuse the natural look with no makeup. Yeah. When they say I like a natural girl, they mean they like natural makeup. They mean that if they see you, when they say a girl with don't make up. They don't. It's very eyelids. If you see a girl with red or green eyelids, yeah, then they'll say that's makeup.
No, I'm not trying to say
if you're matching your tone,
That's what you're trying to say. If you're in a club and you wear makeup to highlight your features, and you wear to like
No one said that.
like to
No girls don't want to wear makeup to like a completely different person. That's not the point. The point of makeup is to like accentuate, make it look like make it look
but contour changed the game.
Contour changed everything.
If your mom have chubby cheeks and she wants to contour, that's her problem. That's her own.
use highlight to change your jaw structure is a different thing.
When guys say that they want a girl who is natural, they mean like full eyebrows and like clear skin, long lashes and everything.
Yeah.
And the truth is, there's barely anybody who looks like that without like acne scars or like
I do.
eyebrows.
Carry on.
And that's just it. Like nobody looks like that. But when guys say that they want someone who looks natural, that's what they mean.
That's what I'm
What?
saying.
Who's told you that? What? Who's told you that?
But we can't, like, everyone has their fantasies, but obviously no one's gonna, I mean, me,
No, but okay. A quick point though. A quick point, because obviously you see how makeup is like developing, and obviously there's new brands out there and all this, and there's new enhancing
There's new
stuff.
techniques.
Yeah, as in there's new stuff and all that. Obviously there's new is all cool. Like I support the team. However, how can I now say to you, oh, look nice here, and then am I supposed to guess what's on your face? Like, oh, you're wearing some MAC today, you're wearing some, oh, that's some Fenty. Oh,
yeah.
Do I know the difference? All I know is that you're looking nice. So for you now to buy, like, spend extra money, let's say, and then you're saying you're only just trying to please, I don't go spending £100 on myself when I know I can look nice and like, what, cool, top man. You know what I mean? I don't need to wear Berlins to look nice.
No, but like makeup.
That's what I'm trying to say.
No,
But it's
it's not that. It's not that. Yeah, it's not about that. Like with makeup, yeah, we think that it's for them to look good for us. With makeup, yeah. No. I'm saying no. I said we. I said that's what. That's. Let me finish. Let me finish. What I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying. I'm saying that's how we feel as guys sometimes. That we feel like makeup is put on for us. But what we don't understand is that you guys just enjoy putting the makeup on. You like it's an experience.
But we can't generalize.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, yeah, the cosmetic industry wouldn't be doing so well if it wasn't for the fact that girls just like to put on makeup. They like to test out the new, copy that tutorial. You know what I'm saying? It's experience for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just about the way you look.
Let's go. Can we go back to the question? Like, can you just read out again?
The question is there pressure on women to wear makeup?
In certain situations, yes. Yeah, I'm not
There-
going to
you know
go to a
what?
club with no makeup on, because everyone's going to be like, what is she doing? Where does she think she
I
is?
did that, yeah.
But it's not like every day, because when I go to my lectures, I do not wear makeup. It's not even that deep.
Who's gonna wake up at 7:30 to do your eyebrows, contour, highlight? Are you down for it?
Agreed that some girls do wear makeup, definitely, 100%. I've seen it. I've seen it.
There is pressure, but it's not necessarily guys that put the pressure on girls.
It's not only guys.
Yeah, it's not only guys. Girls put the pressure on themselves. Guys.
Where did men and trash derive from?
From men being trash.
Bro, there's so
I don't know.
What is that? No, what
does that mean? I don't use the word.
No, as in you can use it in different situations. So, like for example, if a guy acts some type of way, in a bad way, or disrespect you,
They're trash.
They're trash. Yeah.
No, but then can I not be used in reverse? Can I not be used in reverse?
You can.
No, but I'm talking about trash because they act a certain way.
Do you know where it comes from, yeah? It comes from all of these, like, so you know, like, way back in the day when you have all of these songs about how the guy's done this, the guy's done that, we stay silent about it. So let's say a woman has done the exact same thing to me. I'm not, like, back in the day, like that, I'm not gonna go and make a whole song to say, you know, girls have done this,
Yeah,
done that. In the media, it's being portrayed as if only guys are like this, but females are like this as well.
Hold on. When it comes to men are trash, okay, people that say all men are trash are very confused. Right? They're very confused. Men have trash tendencies.
So do women.
Men have trash tendencies. Some men don't act upon it, some men do. Just like women. Women can be trash. To the point of trash. So when don't act upon it someone who shouldn't be trash. Like, not all men are trash.
I feel like this is what men are trash thing, yeah? The only reason you guys are saying men are trash because you allow them to be trash, innit?
Oh!
There's a situation where a girl would allow the guy to disrespect her in front of people, then she'll still be with my man. But then after that, she'll allow men are trash. You know what I'm saying? But you can't say men are trash if you allow yourself to be
No, but it's not always like that. Sometimes, yeah, the girl can be acting right, she can be doing all the right things, but then the guy will still be trash, as in he will just disrespect her regardless of what she does.
She thinks
That means you should be holding yourself to a high standard. Why are you such a
Yeah, let me tell you something. I think when you entertain something, that's when it happens to you. So you don't have
I said sometimes, yeah, a girl will just ask for nothing but a good guy. But then she'll end up with someone that will just...
What is a good guy though? Yeah, what does that even mean?
The thing is, some girls just love for trouble guys.
Don't like good guys though. Let's be real. Girls do not like good guys.
It's true, you know.
How can a girl say to me, oh no, he's too nice, I can't.
Yes!
We just say that men are more trash than women.
What? No, how?
Wait, guys. You post things on Twitter like, I put her through so much and she stood through it all. You guys already do that. And you're like, and that's why
She allowed me to cheat. She let me cheat.
But you did that. He's made mistakes. That's a man that wants to
But allowing him to come back, you allowed him to cheat.
The same way a girl can be too nice.
Alright, guys, next question.
Are black people judgmental?
Very judgmental.
In what ways though?
We are
Always. In what ways?
You know what?
And you're like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
No, let me like if you I don't want to compare I hate comparing ourselves to like white people, but like they kind of get away with a lot more than we do.
Yeah.
Like we put ourselves in these tight boxes that they don't.
A lot of the judgment that black people have, I feel anyway, comes from ignorant mindsets.
Yeah.
So it's like what we were talking about earlier in terms of to be black you have to fit a certain quota, or you know to you have to be like this or be like that. Like a lot of it is just pure ignorance. Who says that if I don't like chicken, I like chicken, but who says that if I like chicken?
How do you have to state that?
Exactly. It shouldn't be like that. I should be able to say I don't like chicken and then
carry on.
I'm not gonna lie, you say I don't like chicken, every black person's
like when I say I wanna like one day be vegan, vegetarian, people are like, what the fuck?
Like imagine like no, but biggest imagine Nigeria walking through and say doesn't like jollof rice. What are you gonna do? Nah, real talk, what are you gonna do if an African says I don't like jollof rice? What are you gonna do? No, a lot of you won't care, but a lot of you will be like,
it's up to you.
I don't like
see what I mean?
What does that mean? I don't like chicken. It's
chicken. No, but it's even a thing where I think black people are very judgmental in a sense that, you know, in terms of the whole thing about forgiving and forgetting, yeah, cool. We like, as in a lot of black people, especially the ones that are very like, more ignorant, let's say, they like to do the whole thing of cool, there's slavery, there's this, there's that, and there's all that, yeah. Like, okay, for example, every guy that watched Get Out, yeah, the next thing they're like, oh, I'm triggered. If I see a white person, I can't. Like Bear Man was saying, oh, I can't go over a white girl. I can't go over a white girl. Why am I going to a parent's yard? This. No. But that's literally what I'm. That's what I'm trying to say. They're quick to judge over media. Do you know what I mean? A media representation of what we, let's say, went through time ago. We're still now going, oh, but black people, white people are doing this. Right? Like we're very quick to judge, and even we're judging ourselves as well. Like, I'm telling you, that a woman, two girls cannot walk like especially, okay, let's say London. Sometimes women can't even walk past, and they'll just be screw-facing for what reason? I don't get it. Like, fam, like if I walk past a black person, let's say, I'm telling you now, either spud or we do that little. You know what I mean? Acknowledge that you're there. You know what I mean? You can't see it, but you just acknowledge that they're there, innit? You have that acknowledge. But a lot of black people, I'm telling you now, before a woman passes a girl, they will know what makeup she's wearing. They will know if it's weave or braids or whatever. They will have analysed her from top down, and then they make their own
What's everyone's views on interracial?
I love it.
Wait.
I've done it and I wouldn't do it again.
Why not? Why not?
It doesn't have to.
It's too much judgment.
No, I know, but I just wouldn't date someone that's out of the black community personally.
Why not?
Yeah, your point is preference, but I feel like it's none of everyone's business. If someone wants to date someone outside, leave them.
Yeah.
My point comes where people now sleep their own race because they like white people. That's the problem. Cool. Appreciate the fact that you like white girls. That's fine. That's your own. I don't care. Cool. But don't say black people now because you now like white people. You now like Asians. That just don't do it. That's where the problem comes up.
It's true.
It also becomes like being from an African background. It's wrong because then they have to learn your culture. Do you get what I mean? And that's not still.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to let go of your culture.
Pardon?
You wouldn't want to let go of your own culture.
Exactly, and it becomes an issue. It can become an even bigger.
You don't have to. At that point, you pack your bags, move out of the house.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Wait, but guys, hold on.
You started out, you're 10 years into your marriage, and then you're trying to teach her, she's not doing it. It becomes an issue, isn't it?
But
so then
she's the problem.
You started out. It was fine, she was learning, but then I was saying, I don't want to cook Sata. I don't want to. That's why I'm saying it's a long thing. Like, if you want to do it, do it. But it's long.
I think it comes more down to, okay, when you introduce them to your parents, etc., and then they have to, if they're completely different, exactly, but you wouldn't want to put them in that position, or you wouldn't want to be judged by their family. Whereas, like, say you're in marriage, etc., and now you have your kids, blah blah blah, and you want to raise them a certain way, but the other person doesn't want to raise them according to that according to.
What would you mean? Right, so my mum and my dad, they've been together for nearly 30 years now. My mum, she learned how to cook jollof rice. She learned how to cook rice and stew. She learned how to cook egusi soup.
And she passed it on to her daughter.
She's been to Nigeria and she's teaching us. She's teaching us how to do. She's teaching us how to do it. She's encouraging me. I don't know if anyone's Igbo here.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
What?
No, wait. I don't know if you have, like, obviously I'm from Ibuzai and my dad's part of the community thing. Yeah, my mum encourages me to go to those events with my dad. My mum comes to those events as well. So I'm saying you're both
operating.
She's learning. Some people don't, and I feel like if you don't do that, that's bad for your children. That's not knowing both cultures is really bad. Imagine going to school and not even knowing about any of the food, any of the culture. That is bad. I'll agree, that's bad. But that's why you need to learn. If you're going into an interracial relationships, both of you, not just from one side. My dad had to adapt to the English culture. He had to know about the English manic ways and stuff. Like, it's just if you're willing to commit and stuff, you've got to find the balance. You've got to get it.
Then there's what?
You know, there's like when you're like, if you're attracted to someone but you both have strong culture, then you're both like adamant and sticking to those type of
hard-headed. But no one's telling you to let go of yours. That's what I'm saying. The emphasis on balancing it out and having like even the balance.
If you're not willing to compromise, don't date. Yeah, don't do it. It's not my fault. That's why I'm single.
Question. Single parent background succeed more.
Yes.
Wait, what did you say? What's the question? What can you
single parent background succeed more?
Succeed more.
Yes. Right. Single what? Single parent background. Wait.
Now say yes straight.
Wait. The reason I'm gonna say no is because single parent backgrounds can come in all different forms. As if you never knew your father, let's say your father left half of your life, your dad died, your mom died, whatever. Cool. Right. Now, I feel like single parents and single children don't succeed more as single parents and multiple children because all the children tend to step in the younger sibling. Yeah, I'm saying like one child. All the children tend to step in on the younger children. That's where the success comes from. But if you have one mother, one father, whatever, and one child, I feel like the amount of compromise both people have to do may not equal the success that you get from either a two-parent or when there's one parent and multiple children.
I have this. But my opinion is controversial.
Go on.
I don't think that single parenthood should be encouraged at all.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. But you have to do it. We're talking about if you have to do it.
Yeah. But when you wake up and decide I'm gonna be a single parent.
Yeah. So some people are in that situation. Are their children at a disadvantage? That's what basically the question is saying. As to someone.
No, I think it's not equal. There's nothing.
I feel like it's down to the person. I feel like it's nothing to do with your parents.
Yeah, it's down to the person.
but hold on. Yes, they do. But I'm telling you now, there's so many parents that, let's say, this is my one point. There's so many parents that, let's say they've trained their child up to be the way that they like. Everything that is good, let's say that, yeah, and they still go out and like they're living double lives. A lot of children like to do that. They like to be the whole holy in front of their parents. The minute they're out on road, there's someone different. No, but that's at the end of the day, your parents are giving you everything, and you're still
That's on you. That's like you.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not the same with your parents. Then your mom or dad, whatever, it's out of the story.
Exactly.
No, but that's a different point.
It has to come down to the parents.
No, but it does come down to the parents.
It does. But
your parents are the ones that shape you, okay? And then afterwards, it's down to you. You do your own thing. If you go fuck up, that's down. That's
but that doesn't mean that mama can't do it on her own.
I feel like what I was gonna say though is that
it's better.
A single parent background. Yeah. No, yeah, of course it's harder, but I feel like a lot of children. Obviously, there are some that will, like, you know, they now want to find love in other places, or they now want to do that. That's a whole separate thing. I'm talking about there is a large majority of children that, let's say they are only children in one mother or one father, where they see their parent struggle, they see their parent doing this and doing that and doing that, and they will be like, you know what, nah, I need to do this for my parents. Even if it is something that they want to do for themselves as well, yeah, cool, but they will keep pushing, because the only thing that's driving them is, I'm not gonna lie, I seen how my mom's been. I'm not gonna have that same situation to my children. That is a lot of people's mentality.
No, but see, they might not directly said it to you, but they've implied it, because there are a lot of kids that are living in council houses that see their parents like suffer and are willing to live the same life. That mentality was set by your parents. There are other external factors that will affect you, like your society, what you learn at school, obviously. But it's not just your parents. Do you know what I mean? There's other factors, but it's not your parents. They do their part. They set up that mindset up in you, because a lot of Africans will have that same mentality where they're like, my parents struggled, they got to this country, you know, so I have to grind. Whereas, because they might not have necessarily been like, oh yeah, you need to work hard in school. We've seen them work hard, we've seen them work overtime, we've seen them work night shifts, so that's given us the drive to work harder.
Yeah, but
do you get what I'm saying?
But can't that be any parent though?
But that's the thing, no one's saying.
Ren has a point. Yo, Ren's got a point.
Before you answer the question, just out of curiosity, say whether you're from a single parent background or not, so we can see where you're coming from?
That's exact. I'm single. I have a single parent background. I have 9 brothers and sisters.
Huh?
9 brothers and sisters. Actually, I have basically 10 siblings. But
one parent.
One dad. But mothers are like. Okay.
But carry on. That's crazy.
So I come from family where I'm gonna use your example of, or they fend and make it build. But if you think about it differently, that's more of a sacrifice in a way, and a lot of children are getting sacrificed in losing their dreams and losing what they want to do to basically help the family to keep rolling and survive.
That's not always good.
Huh?
That's not always good.
Yeah, that's not always good.
A lot, let's say the older, for example, okay,
the older generation of my family, I would say, suffered dearly, massively. Brother died immediately, gunshot, dead over drugs, but he had to help my dad to keep the family moving, as we saw. He had no choice. He had no way of, other than no qualification. Great footballer, knocked out his knee. Sacrifice for me to come to uni. So all my brothers and sisters sacrifice. I don't think single parenthood is a great way. I think you should come together as a unity and try to as mothers and fathers and come together and stop this single parent bull and take care of your kids.
It's not my choice. It's not choice.
I know it's not choice.
A lot of people would like to raise their children together, but circumstances. Okay, you can have, Aisha gave the example, your parents passing away, or it just doesn't work, but then you have to make it work for yourself. That's where the point of your parents struggled, etc., comes in. If you then go out and not appreciate it, it's on you, it's not on your parents.
That's true.
Whereas people keep going back to, it's on your parents raising you this way. Your parents have nothing to do with that. They've raised you, and you go out of your way to mess up, that's on you. Your parents have still done their part. And it doesn't only happen with single parents, it happens with people who have both of their parents and still go and do their own thing. It's not the point.
What are we determining as success? You go what I mean?
Exactly.
Because success is different to different people. Because for example, the example you just gave to them, for them that might be success to them because they're providing for their family. So it also depends on what you're defining as success. So we're talking about people earning 1 million a year, or we talking about people just being happy with their lives.
You define success. Though.
You define success.
Right, so I come from a single parent background in the sense that my dad died 3.5 years ago. So I'm a middle child and I've got an older brother and a little brother. So my little brother was 10 when my dad died. He's now 13, turning 14. So I was 16, my brother was 18. So as the older siblings, it wasn't pushed on us, but we felt it as ourselves to be able to step up and look after my little brother. Because someone that young that doesn't get it, you don't want to rush your family out of normality. So cool. It gave, I think, both me and my brother the push to be like, cool, we're not going to let it slip and we're not going to let his stuff slip. So we didn't compromise ourselves and we didn't compromise my little brother either. So we still kept him up with his school, his football, etc. I still kept up with school, my brother in uni. So my brother's now graduated, his master's, obviously I'm here. So for me to get to uni, in a sense, is success for me. So my next success is graduation, like, you know how you make steps for yourself. Cool. So I feel like everyone has their own success. So my brother's in secondary school, he's doing his thing, whatever. So, but when it comes to my mum now, my mum is in and out because she's trying to compromise stuff for my little brother, but she's also trying to work at the same time. Obviously, me and my brother aren't at home anymore, so it's just mum and my little brother. So it does come sense. So whenever I am at home, or whenever my older brother's at home, we both have to step up. So when it comes to taking my brother to football, I'll take him to training, school, whatever, as much as I help out. Not because I'm being forced to, because I want my little brother to have that normality of he's not missing things because me and my older brother are lazy. So it's like, cool, look out for your other siblings, but I don't feel like you should also let yourself slip. Because I feel like that's not looking after your own success. Like, everyone must succeed. Cool, everyone. You know?
Make it work.
That's exactly, succeed for yourself.
I 100% agree with that. My mum, actually, she's got, there's 7 of them all together in a family. Both her parents died. She was like 20-something, and the youngest was like 7, 8. All of them went to uni, all of them got jobs, all of them got married, had kids, all of them were successful. Not because they felt, oh, we have to give up. Like, none of them gave up anything. Everyone went through the same thing. All of them were successful. So I believe that they all have to step up, but no one let anyone slip.
Alright, thank you guys for coming and watching this. Like, obviously this is one of the first events of our cultural week. We have many more events coming up throughout the week. This was Acs Talks, where we talked about different topics, some of them more serious than others, some of them were just for like humour, but I feel like the ones that were serious, we actually got down to facts, and although there was some controversies, although there was some emotion and some personal things into it, I feel like it was definitely needed, and it was something that I feel watching back will definitely be able to help someone. And so if you like it, obviously just keep watching out for ACS, keep watching us grow, and we're here for you. So like, thank you guys.
Comment and subscribe.
Come on.
Come on.